Coming up tonight on our news.
The murder count climbs another notch overnight. That's coming up tonight on our news.
The Marathon MP weighs in on the recent issues surrounding the Baha Mar deal. That story straight ahead.
Marco City MP Greg Moss criticizes the latest Baha Mar developments. That story straight ahead.
Plus, government seeks additional funding to build more affordable homes. Welcome to our news. I'm Christina McNeil. Thanks for joining us. Topping news tonight, a home in the Hillside Estates area became a murder scene late last night when the son of Umbrella Union President John Pinder was gunned down. Our Giorgio Stirrup reports.
That's right, Christina. Tragedy hit the doorstep of BPSU President John Pinder, whose son was shot and killed at their home in Hillside Estates off Bernard Road shortly after 10 last night. Pinder says the entire incident came as a shock to his family, and he's praying for those responsible to be brought to justice. Head of the Central Detective Unit, Chief Superintendent Clayton Fernando, provided these details on the scene last night.
The deceased, who is a young adult male, appeared to be in his mid-20s. He was at home in the TV room along with several young adult males from the area. They were playing video games when someone entered the yard and fired a number of shots through the window, resulting in the deceased being shot to the body. There was also a second victim, a male, who was grazed to the back area.
The victim has been identified by relatives as Jamal Pinder. His father, union boss John Pinder, said out of all of his sons, he could not have imagined that Jamal would have been murdered.
This is my son. This actually is the one who named after me. I just got a call that some person came to the TV room where they were watching TV and playing some games on the TV system in there and started shooting. Obviously the person didn't even know who they were shooting because the curtain was drawn, so you couldn't even see on the inside. They started shooting. Unfortunately, he was sitting against the wall adjacent to the window where the shots came through, and lucky about 3 or 4 shots might hit him. Fatal.
Pinder believes that the bullets were not intended for his son. He says Jamal was not the only person in the room when he was shot about the body.
This is the one son that I could swear for don't get mixed up in nothing. This is the calm one, this is the easygoing one, this is the one who don't bother nobody. And so I can't even say he had a vibe with nobody. You know, I talked to his friend because about 7 or 8 of them was in the room there. I asked them if they have a vibe with everybody's saying no. But I just hope that, you know, the person who did this, I hope that they will find in themselves to ask God for forgiveness, man. I don't know why they would have killed an innocent person because I know they don't know who they shot. They just shot him through the window.
Fox Hill MP Fred Mitchell issued a press statement extending his condolences to the Pinder family. This latest killing brings the country's murder count for the year to 69. Police are asking anyone with any information to please come forth. Back to you, Christina.
Thanks, Giorgio. Again, those numbers are 328-TIPS, 919, or your nearest police station. In other news, taking care of Bahamians is the main goal of that committee established to administer claims of Bahamian and other creditors involved in the Baha Mar matter, according to Marathon MP Jerome Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, who says he met with committee members yesterday, says he's not pleased with those who insist on tearing down the government over the Baha Mar matter. Simone Davis reports.
The Marathon MP said today that after a meeting with members of the committee to oversee the settling of claims, he can ensure that Bahamians are top priority and will be taken care of as soon as possible.
The money has been provided, as was stated. The money has been agreed, and the money will be here in the Bahamas, and the money will be paid out. And it'll be paid out to Bahamians.
When asked an estimate of how much those employees might receive come September 30th, Fitzgerald said this.
The only thing I can tell you is that at the end of the day, we are satisfied that the arrangements that were made and the negotiations that were held, that Bahamians will be satisfied. And I think that's the point at the end of the day, that the Prime Minister gave a mandate to us. We followed that mandate. And at the end of the day, we're very satisfied with the outcome. And so you'll soon see the manifestation of that.
Claims are being paid from the monies which have been made available by the Export-Import Bank of China, as the Baha Mar companies in liquidation have no assets from which to pay creditors.
Fitzgerald said he's shocked that many Bahamians are not pleased with the recent Baha Mar deal.
We were surprised at how many Bahamian companies were involved. I mean, well over 1,000. And so, well over 1,000. So it just gives you an appreciation for the amount of Bahamian and Bahamian families were involved, which is why we're just totally surprised to some great extent that so many people seem to be unhappy about what we've been able to negotiate for these people, because these are real families, these are real businesses, and when you impact over 1,000 companies in this country, you know, it touches a lot of people.
Reporting for our news, I'm Simone Davis.
Thanks, Simone. Well, United Democratic Party leader Greg Moss is blasting Prime Minister Perry Christie and his latest announcement about the multi-billion-dollar Baha Mar resort. Moss says he finds it comical that the government is now claiming it has saved the project from the issues he claims the government helped create. Jasmine Brown tells us more.
Moss says he doesn't understand why the Prime Minister and his cabinet colleagues are patting themselves on the backs, as he believes Baha Mar's issues are far from being resolved.
Moss says he's not buying into the deal that was announced between the government and China Exim Bank. The Marco City MP says he is even more concerned about the announcement that was made on Sunday, revealing a committee has been established to administer claims to Baha Mar creditors.
Why are we playing politics with the people? Why do we play politics with them in the beginning? Why do we allow this to get to this point? And why are we again playing politics with them now by having this process through a government facilitated committee rather than through a creditors committee appointed by the court to decide who justly and equitably would get paid.
Moss adds that at this point it appears that this latest development appears to be nothing more than a political ploy.
Political implications of this are startling.
The former PLP MP says as far as he is concerned, the missteps on the matter can be traced back to the initiation of the winding up process, which resulted in work being stopped and thousands of workers losing their jobs.
Knowing full well that the Winding Up Act of our country says that upon making any such application to court, the business must cease operating. Knowing that and allowing that process, asking for that process, facilitating that process, and then throwing your hand up in the air and saying, oh my, it's so sad that people have been laid off and contractors have not been paid is, you know, it's something I don't understand. It's probably duplicitous, frankly.
Reporting for our news, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Thanks, Jasmine. And the most recent Baha Mar announcement is just another ploy by the Christie administration to distract the Bahamian people from the true state of the stalled project. That's according to Long Island MP Loretta Butler Turner, who says Prime Minister Perry Christie has mastered the art of ducking issues. Her comments came after the government announced that a committee has been established to administer claims of Bahamian and other creditors.
The Prime Minister once again has a huge propensity for creating committees when he wishes to sidestep his own responsibility.
Butler Turner says the fact that a week has gone by and key details still haven't been revealed only heightens suspicions about the deal.
I have got to question whether or not this is a knee-jerk response by the government to its many failures with regards to Baha Mar, with regards to their handling of it, and whether or not we are actually acting in the interest of all parties concerned.
Construction on the project is expected to resume next month. Still to come on our news, the Ministry of Housing seeks more funding to build more affordable homes, new legislation on the way for the financial services industry, and repairs at Sandals Royal Bahamian Resort are underway. That's coming up when our news returns.